Well, hello everybody and welcome back to Conan Exiles, Age of War Chapter 3. I hope we find you well at the time of this video. I myself have just been getting over COVID for the second time once again, so I've been out of action for a little while, but back at it now. And I thought we'd kick it off with a slightly different one here. As the thumbnail will suggest, this is a Tier 4 entertainer video, certainly taking a look at two of, in my opinion, the best entertainers in the game. Both young ladies that are, as I say, Tier 4 named entertainers. Lots of interesting little facts about these, and we'll talk about in this video how you can get them, because there are a couple of ways to get a hold of Leah on the Exile Land, which Leah Neely, that's the one on the right, and then Amma the Seductress on the left, who you can now also get in the Exile Lands, but only, as far as I'm aware at the moment, can be obtained one particular way, so we'll talk about that very shortly. So then, we've been out, we've found ourselves our entertainer, and we've got lucky, and we've either got Amma the Seductress or Leah Neely. Both of these pretty easy to get hold of. Can take a bit of RNG with the purge to get either of them. I did actually get lucky recently in a level 8 purge, actually get Leah Neely on the left there. And as you can see, the way these ladies both look with the outfits they're wearing, this is just how they will appear when you bring them off the Wheel of Friendship. And then I suppose the next question is why are both or either of these viable? And there's a couple of simple answers to that, which we'll take a look at now. And as you can see by the boards either side of them, the current information that's available on the wiki that I could find shows you that their melee damage modifier is 1.6 and also their range damage modifier is also 1.6, so not the best. But however, if you were to kit these ladies up in some decent armor and give them a decent weapon, for example a one-handed mace, they seem to be very efficient with. They are an entertainer, so their primary role is to give you the entertain buff, which helps you to regenerate health in battle or just when you're out and about, and also heal any corruption. So if you go into the unnamed city or down to fight the undead dragon in the sinkhole and you've got all that corruption to deal with, these two lovely ladies will deal with that absolutely brilliantly for you. And they are both tier 4 named entertainers, so they are the top tier of entertainer that you can get. Leah Neely is a Cimmerian, so she's from the Forgotten Tribe faction, which is obviously the Cimmerians up at Mounds of the Dead. She does have a spawn point up there, but she's not guaranteed. But I'll take you up there later in this video and show you whereabouts that is and where you have the chance of getting her. But now also you do have the chance of getting her in a purge. It only ever seems to have been level 8 or 9 that I've got lucky and got either of these. Any of the lower tiers I've not ever had one of them. I don't think I might have got Amma once in a 5 or a 6, but obviously the bigger purges with more cages you get a higher chance of getting them. But as I say, when you take them off the wheel, this is how they will appear. And one of the other particular things I like about these two, and these are both my favourites entertainer wise, there are lots out there, all different ones that you can get. Still tier 4 named dancers, but obviously different tribes that they come from, or different factions if you want to call it that, and there are some male entertainers out there as well. Not even going to attempt some of the names because they are just tongue twisters, shall we say, but these are definitely two of my favourites because they are quite high HP or health if you want to call it that. The damage is reasonable, even though it's only 1.6, they can do reasonable damage, and they are certainly pretty quick levelers, both of them. So you'll find it pretty quick to level these up if you get yourself either of these. So if we take a look at Leah Neely, for example, as you see with her stat sheet there, she comes with the same stats as the Cimmerians, so she comes like Delincia and the Berserkers with 15 in strength, 0 in agility, 30 in vitality, 0 in grit, and she starts off with a decent amount of HP. And she can come with varying percentage chances for leveling up. These, as you can see on this one, look pretty decent, so it will be up to you. Personally, I would either focus on vitality first or strength first, given whichever percentage chance is lower. You want to boost that one with it, maybe go to level 10 with either strength or vitality, and then swap them around for your last 10 levels, or it's entirely up to you. But she's a strength based damage person, so again, you want to put her in some decent strength armor, preferably heavy armor. Maybe even the setup that you've seen me use many times also works really good for her, and she's particularly good with a one-handed mace, like Momentum for example. So if you've got one of those knocking around, give her that to try and you might be pleasantly surprised. And then if we take a look at Amma the Seductress here, once again, obviously from a different faction, but still the same. 15 in strength and 13 vitality, decent health pool to start out with, and once again pretty good in strength based armor. This is the appearance that she will appear in, but obviously you can kit them out in whatever gear you want to give them, and also once again pretty good with a mace. You wouldn't typically team up two of these dancers together because you wouldn't need two entertainment people at the same time, or entertainers rather. So if you're doing War Party, you could pair them up with a Cimmerian Berserker or Delincia or Leon if you've got Leon for example, or anybody whoever you've got. But ideally, because their damage is a little lower, you would want to pair them up with somebody that's got decent high damage numbers, especially Delincia, and certainly at the moment in this chapter as it stands, the Cimmerian Berserkers, which have the highest damage modifier, which we'll cover in another video very shortly. So I do recommend, if you get yourself one of these, to certainly take a look at them and see what you think. Highly recommend them. Like I say, two of my big favourites. Lots and lots of entertainers throughout the map that you can get, also named ones, but these are two of the better ones in my opinion. So just before we leave guys, just a quick one once again, just to say that these two ladies are both obtainable on the Exile lands and also on the Isle of Sipta. And Amma the Seductress, so that's the one on the left, she can be obtained if you get lucky from being rescued from one of the cages in the Purge. Also Leah Neely, the one on the right, can also now be rescued from a cage in the Purge if you get lucky as well, which is another great way to get hold of both of these. However, Leah is slightly easier to get hold of if you get lucky, because she does actually have a spawn location on the Exile lands. Although not a guaranteed spawn, there is one particular spot where she can spawn. The only difficulty being that she shares that same spawn with the tier 1, 2 and 3 entertainers also. But we'll nip over there to the Mounds of the Dead now, and I'll show you the little spot where she can spawn, just so you know where to come and maybe check for her to have a chance of getting Leah Neely to spawn. But now, certainly since recent patches, you have a chance of getting either of them or both if you get lucky, just as I did recently in a Purge. I ended up getting both Leah and Amma, which was very fortunate. I'll post a picture at the end of this video just so that you can see that they were both there outside the cages, just as evidence to show that you can get them. But right now we'll pop over to the Mounds of the Dead and I'll show you where you can get Leah Neely. Okay, so here we are over in the Mounds of the Dead, which is just over on the far left side of the map in the Highlands area, and as you can just see where I am here on the map, just on this very top little sort of northeast corner almost, more to the north. And as you can see, if I take a look around, we're up on this ledge. So if you came down there, you could go up to the gate that's at the side there, and up here you've got the dome behind you there. Then you've got this rather weird looking tree just behind, but where you can see this young man stood here, this entertainer, this is the spot where Leah has a chance to spawn. As I say, she does share this with tier 1, 2 and 3, so you might have to have a bit of RNG to get lucky to get her, but this is where she can spawn, on this little spot right here. So if I just move around a little bit just so you can kind of see where we are, if you come off this way you'll notice a wall, and if you follow this wall around it'll bring you to this ramp here. And if you know the Mounds of the Dead quite well, as you can see there, you've got the main part over there, and then if you come down that ramp from that way, or if you're coming across from where the big Chaos Hill is, as a lot of people call it, where you can get Dylan to potentially spawn, coming this way along here up this bridge, keep to the side of that big rock formation or tree formation there, follow it around, and you'll notice that as you come around you get to this spot here, you'll see this person stood here, there'll always be somebody stood here, so if you see them, look for the big tree, and just in front of the bush should be either a tier 1, 2 or 3 entertainer or Leah if she has spawned at this location in the Mounds of the Dead. And so there you have it, my friends, just another quick dive there into 2 of the tier 4 named entertainers that you can get on the Exile lands. Amma the Seductress and Leah Neely, both pretty decent tier 4 entertainers in my opinion, not just for their corruption removal, but okay fighters to put with somebody else in War Party. So anyway, let me know down below in the comments what you think, and let me know down below who your favourite is, if you've got either of these that are your favourite or somebody totally different. As I said, let me know, or let me know if there's anybody else you think is better than them, but this is who I like to use anyway. Hope you found this one interesting, hope you found it helpful. If you did, give us a big old thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and lots more still to come this year. A whole brand new year now, lots of interesting things to come in the future in chapter 3, so stick with us, and until I see you in the next one, it's bye bye for now.